It was very painful for me to recall this story, but I feel that I must share it. I hope you find it interesting. We were both young and had just gotten married. Our intimate relationship was filled with passion and wild imagination. Despite this, we didn't have any children. We weren't very wealthy, but my parents had left me a house, which helped a lot. One day, Jennifer won a trip to Egypt for 2 from her company. Jennifer's mother, Barbara, gently but persistently insisted that I give her my ticket. I agreed, especially since I didn't have much choice as I couldn't leave my job. Jennifer said that I was a true hero and had given her mother a wonderful gift for her 50th birthday. I was completely at ease about my wife traveling with her mother. Jennifer was away for 2 weeks. During this time, I worked and spent my evenings doing repairs on our house, as I couldn't afford to hire builders. Jennifer called rarely due to the time zone difference. After 2 weeks, I was excitedly waiting for my wife at the airport with flowers. She returned refreshed, tanned, and glowing with happiness. Jennifer joyfully told me about how wonderful their trip was, how beautiful the sea and the mysterious pyramids were, and how much she liked the camels. Everything was fine, but our intimate relationship had become very cold. I had no issues on my end, but Jennifer started behaving strangely. She constantly made excuses. She was tired from work, had a headache, and so on. Over time, I noticed that Jennifer spent a lot of time on her phone. She was always receiving messages that made her smile. She never showed me these messages. When I asked, she said they were from a friend. Later, I noticed that she would close herself in the bathroom and talk to someone for hours. I didn't like this, and I started asking what was going on, but Jennifer would avoid answering. At one point, I lost my temper and snatched the phone from her hands. I saw that she was communicating with a man named Ravel. Jennifer grabbed the phone back while I stood there in shock and ran out of the house. The next morning, she returned with her mother. Barbara entered the house and said they had come for Jennifer's things. After gathering her belongings, Barbara said they were leaving for Egypt. Jennifer had started a romance with a wealthy man who owned a chain of hotels. He was in love with her and ready to marry her. And you're a pathetic loser who can't provide for his family, so my daughter has to work. Barbara's fate didn't turn out very well. Our mutual friends told me that her prince in Egypt was actually a regular hotel worker. He wasn't the owner of a hotel chain. When Jennifer and Barbara arrived, he took them to his home, which was an old, dilapidated house where his parents lived. The money they had with them, he invested in a profitable business that soon failed. He then said there wasn't enough money and made Jennifer and her mother work as cleaners in the hotel. They lived like this for 3 months before borrowing money from friends for a ticket home, since their new husband took all their money. Now Jennifer works as a waitress in a cafe. She doesn't talk to her mother after finding out that her Egyptian husband had cheated on her with Barbara. After the breakup with my wife, I was deeply depressed and struggled to get back on my feet. I started drinking and didn't leave the house. This went on for a whole month until Jennifer's friend, Cindy, came to see me. She said I couldn't continue like this and took me under her wing. Soon, Cindy and I started a romance that grew into a serious relationship. 3 months later, we got married. Now we're raising 2 children. One day my ex-mother-in-law came to my house, threw mud on my door, and threatened to put a curse on me. Then I realized that God had saved me from that crazy couple, for which I am grateful to this day.